The secret weapon that turned Caesar's wars. Rome's silent scorpion. Genre: historical thriller, military mystery. Setting: Gaul 52 BCE, during Julius Caesar's Gallic Wars. Themes: betrayal, ancient engineering, silent warfare, and the power of forgotten innovation. The forests of Gaul stood in silence, their black limbs clawing into the starlit sky. Somewhere near the Aedui stronghold of Bibracte, the Roman camp was still. No fires, no voices, just the hiss of wind weaving through pine. Then came a thud, muffled, wet. A Gallic sentry dropped silently to the earth, a sharpened bolt lodged in his throat. Another step, another death, no trumpet, no alarm. The Romans were advancing without swords, and they brought a ghost into the war. They called it Scorpio Tacitus, the silent scorpion. Gaius Aelius Varro, a Roman architectus, a military engineer, had always lived in the shadows of men like Caesar and Crassus. He didn't wield a gladius, he wielded geometry. While others chanted oaths in the forum, Varro whispered to gears, levers, and bronze. He had read scrolls so old their edges had fossilized. Among them was a fragment believed to be copied from Archimedes himself, an obscure sketch of a repeating torsion weapon, compact, silent, and deadly at close range. It was designed not for sieges, but for infiltration. A Scorpio that fired featherless, black-shafted bolts with the whisper of a serpent's breath. Varro rebuilt it with Roman precision, then improved it. Caesar, always hungry for advantages, granted him a private cohort of artificers and a detachment from Legio X. The Scorpions were tested in the dead of night, never in open battle. They were mounted on tripods of sound-dampened cedar, disguised as cargo crates. No legionary ever spoke of them. They were the blades in the dark. And their first mission would come at the cost of a kingdom. Chapter 2. Vercingetorix's Unseen Wound. The year was 52 BCE. The Gallic chieftain Vercingetorix had united the warring tribes, a feat never before achieved. He laid siege to Roman towns, burned Roman supply lines, and turned Caesar's ambitions to ash. But Caesar had something the Gauls did not understand: Roman secrecy. When the siege of Gergovia faltered, and Caesar's armies bled in the hills, he unleashed Varro and the silent scorpions. Not to destroy cities, not to strike generals, but to turn alliances. In the dead of night, silent scorpion teams infiltrated Gallic encampments. Druids were found dead in their tents, pierced through the heart without a sound. Messengers never arrived. Tribal chiefs awoke to find their guards dead and arrows with no feathers embedded in wooden pillars. Warnings without a sound. Panic crept in. Rumors of haunted Romans, death spirits, and metal wizards spread like plague. Caesar smiled. Let them believe ghosts fight for Rome. But secrets have a price. One of Varro's artificers, Lucius Marcellus, began selling knowledge to a Greek mercenary working for the Gauls, Aetian of Thasos. Aetian had once served as an engineer in Ptolemaic Egypt, and he recognized the handiwork behind the deaths. He knew of Archimedes, and now he sought to destroy the ghost machine. At the same time, Vercingetorix's druids had begun devising countermeasures: mirror shields, decoy dummies, enchanted markings to confuse Roman spies. Marcellus vanished during the siege of Avaricum, presumed dead. But Varro found a message etched in charcoal behind his workbench. The scorpion strikes both ways. Beware the serpent in your camp. Caesar's forces were closing in on the fortified hill of Alesia. If they could take it, Gaul would fall. But as Legio X moved through the Arduena forest, they were ambushed. The trees hissed with projectiles, black, silent bolts. The silent scorpions were firing on Romans. Varro, caught in the chaos, recognized his own blueprints. His invention had been reversed, copied, and turned against its creator. Aetian had succeeded. But he had made one mistake. He made the scorpion too powerful, too fast. Its torsion cords overheated, and soon they snapped under pressure. Varro found Aetian atop a rock outcrop, cradling a twisted copy of his own creation. The two engineers locked eyes, not as enemies, but as men obsessed with perfection. "I perfected your ghost," Aetian sneered. "No," Varro replied, setting the timer on his own scorpion's incendiary trap. "You made it mortal." As the battle for Alesia raged, a double siege that would make or break Caesar's legacy, the silent scorpions returned to the shadows. They were no longer weapons of fear. They were scalpels used to sever the Gallic command's will. In the final night raid, Varro himself led a 6-man team to infiltrate the Gallic outer camps. One by one, the Scorpions sang their whispering death. Bolts pierced tents, struck down heralds, commanders, and flag-bearers. When the morning sun rose, the Gallic ranks were leaderless and terrified. The message was clear: even in sleep you are not safe from Rome. After Caesar's triumph, the silent Scorpions were decommissioned. Caesar, now more politician than general, feared rumors of invisible assassins would taint his rise in Rome. He ordered Varro to dismantle the project. Every scroll, every drawing, every weapon was to be destroyed. Varro obeyed, but he buried one Scorpio Tacitus under a false floor in the newly constructed Temple of Mars altar. Centuries later, during the sack of Rome by the Visigoths, a monk recorded a strange weapon discovered beneath rubble, a device like a crossbow but older than Christ and with no sound. It vanished again. Some say it lies beneath the Vatican. Others claim Da Vinci once uncovered its secrets. But one truth remains: Rome's might was not built on brute strength alone. It was built on shadows, silence, and the sting of the scorpion. When the lion roars, all tremble, but when the scorpion stings, none see it coming. Lost maxims of Caesar.